Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. We are doing lesson number 9, Days to Celebrate. Okay? Now, we have discussed the three main national festivals of India, that is Independence Day, Republic Day and Gandhi Jayanti. Then we discussed about some religious festivals of India. Religious festivals are the festivals which are celebrated by the people of specific religion, okay, according to their religious faiths and religious beliefs. So we discussed about Diwali, Dussehra, Guru Purab, Christmas and Eid ul-Fitr. Now today we will be discussing about some other festivals also, okay. So, I'll start with Holi. Holi is also known as the Festival of Colors in India. It is a spring festival and most colorful festival of the Hindus. It is celebrated on the first day of Chaitra. It marks the beginning of the spring season. People play with colors and rejoice. Now, Holi signifies the arrival of spring season and the end of winter. Now, Holika Dahan takes place one day prior to Holi in the evening of the Purnima, that is full moon day, falling in the Hindu calendar month of Falgun. Like we follow English months, January, February, March, April and so on, and there are 12 months according to Hindu calendar also. Okay, so the Holika Dahan falls on the full moon day, that is in Hindi it is known as, it's called Purnima, full moon day of Hindu calendar month of Falgun. Okay, so during Holika Dahan, people gather around a bonfire, they perform religious rituals and pray that their internal evils be destroyed, the way Holika, the sister of the demon king Hiranyakashipu, was killed in the fire. This Holika is considered to be very pious. Pious Hindi में कहते हैं पवित्र. Okay, people offer prayers, उसकी पूजा करते हैं, and then the fire is lit. And the story of Hiranyakashipu is, it goes like, Hiranyakaship's son Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu was a demon king and his son Prahlad was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and since Hiranyakashipu did not like this, he tried to kill Prahlad, his own son, many a times. But he could not succeed. He told Prahlad not to worship Lord Vishnu many a times, but Prahlad did not listen to him. So he tried to kill him many a times, but he could not. Now his sister Holika was blessed with the boon that she will not burn even in fire. So Hiranyakashipu, he thought that he would make Prahlad sit in Holika's lap and he would lit the fire. So what he did, he made Prahlad sit in Holika's lap and then he put woods around them and he lit the fire. He thought since Holika is blessed, she would be escaped and Prahlad would burn. But since Prahlad was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu, he was saved and Holika got burned. So this is the story, and Holika Dahan takes place one day prior to Holi. Okay, then Holi is played on the first day of Hindu calendar month of Chaitra. Okay, Holi is played on the first day. On Purnima, on full moon night, Holika Dahan takes place, and then Holi is played on the first day of Chaitra. Now, Holi celebration takes place with lot of joy and merriment throughout the country. In the morning, people play with wet colors, throw water on each other. Okay, they apply colors to each other. There is fun and frolic all around. People forget their enmity and hug each other. इसको कहते हैं ना, एक दूसरे से अपनी दुश्मनी भूल करके एक दूसरे को गले लगाते हैं. So in the morning, then people go to each other's place and apply colors. Then in the evening, people don't play with wet colors, they apply dry colors to each other. They wear new clothes and they visit friends and relatives. They exchange sweets, apply gulal and hug each other, conveying warm wishes for Holi. Holi meets are also organized. And then special Holi dishes like gujia, malpua, dahi bada, puran poli, matri, etc. And a lot of goodies are prepared at homes. In some states, there is also a tradition of breaking the pot full of buttermilk, which is hung high on the street. A group of boys form a human pyramid and they climb on each other, and one of the boys break the pot while women folk throw buckets of color water on them. Okay, so Holi celebration that starts with the burning of Holika on the eve of Holi, thus culminates with a lot of fun-filled activity and bonhomie. However, at some places, especially Mathura and Barsana, there is a place called Barsana. The Holi of Barsana is very famous. It is called Latthmar Holi. The women folk, they beat the men with lathi, thick wooden sticks, and the men folk, they try to save themselves. It is just for fun. So in Mathura and Barsana, Holi celebrations continue for a week. Okay, so like many festivals, Holi is also celebrated differently by people of different states and background. But what remains the same everywhere is the warmth and the spirit of this day. Holi is a wonderful celebration to bring the community together to celebrate the triumph of good over evil. All the festivals, the reason behind celebrating all the festivals is to bring people together. And all the festivals convey the same message, victory of good over evil. Burai par अच्छाई की विजय. For the Shara also I told you 2-3 stories. For Diwali also I told you 2-3 stories. And all the stories for this Holi also. And all the stories, they convey this message only, the victory of good over evil. Okay, so this is how Holi is celebrated, and I don't think there's anyone who does not like to play Holi. There are some people who don't like to play with wet colors, but otherwise everybody loves to play Holi. It is a very extremely colorful festival. Even the people from abroad who are in India, they also love to play this festival. If they are in India around this time, around Holi, everybody loves to play Holi because they do not have any festival of this kind in their country. So it's very amusing for them, and they love playing Holi. Now next festival is Janmashtami. Janmashtami is another Hindu festival celebrating the birth of Krishna. He is considered as an avatar of God Vishnu. Lord Krishna was born in Mathura. Gokul and Vrindavan was his playground. Janmashtami is an annual Hindu festival that celebrates the birth of Lord Krishna, who is the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. It is celebrated on the 8th day, that is Ashtami, of the Krishna Paksh, dark fortnight in the month of Bhadrapad. That is why it is called Janma Ashtami. Krishna Bhagwan, Lord Krishna was born on the 8th day, and every month there are two पक्ष जिसको बोलते हैं डार्क फोर्ट नाइट, एंड इट्स कॉल्ड शुक्ल पक्ष एंड कृष्ण पक्ष. Okay, so Krishna Paksh is the dark fortnight. So he was born on the 8th day of this dark fortnight in prison. Okay, in prison he was born. And dance drama, that is enactment of life of Lord Krishna, singing of devotional songs through the midnight when Krishna was born, fasting and festival on the following day are parts of the Janmashtami celebration. Shri Krishna is he is considered as one of the most powerful human incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Incarnation means avatar. He was born around 5200 years ago in Mathura. Okay? Shri Ram was also an avatar of Lord Vishnu, and after that Shri Krishna was born. The sole objective of Shri Krishna's birth was to free the earth from the evilness of demons. Lord Rama was also born for this purpose only, to free the earth from the evilness of demons, and Lord Krishna was also born for this purpose. He played an important role in Mahabharata and propagated the theory of bhakti and good karma, which are narrated in the Bhagavad Gita. When the battle of Mahabharata took place, Lord Krishna was the chariot of Arjun. मतलब अर्जुन का रथ लॉर्ड कृष्णा ने चलाया था. एंड व्हेन अर्जुन वाज हेजिटेटिंग इन किलिंग हिज ओन ब्रदर्स, मतलब जब अर्जुन थोड़ा सा हेजिटेट हो रहे थे, उनको लग रहा था कि वो अपने ही भाइयों पे कैसे तीर चलाएं, देन लॉर्ड कृष्णा टोल्ड हिम अबाउट कर्मा. मतलब उन्होंने बोला कि जो हमारा काम है हमें वो काम करना चाहिए. ओके, सो दिस इज जो भगवत गीता है, विच इज अ होली बुक ऑफ हिंदूज. It is narrated, the narration of Lord Krishna and Arjun's, the narration between Lord Krishna and Arjun is there in Bhagavad Gita. And Shri Krishna was born in a prison in the custody of Kansa. When he was born, Vasudev, his father, there was a एक भविष्यवाणी हुई थी ना कंस को कि his sister's 8th child will kill him. So he used to kill whenever a child was born to his sister. He put his sister Devaki and her husband Vasudev in prison, and whenever a child was born to them, he used to get them killed. So when Krishna was born, since he was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, it so happened that when he was born, all the sentries, जो sentries थे जेल में, they all fell asleep. सब बिल्कुल सो गए. उनके their hands and their legs were tied, chain पूरी खुल गई. So his father Vasudeva, immediately he thought that Kans will get him killed also. So he immediately thought of his friend Nanda and decided to hand over his child to him. Okay, to Gokul. So he crossed the river Yamuna. It was raining heavily on that day. He crossed he put the baby Krishna in a basket. He put that basket over his head, crossed the raging Yamuna on that stormy night, and reached Gokul and handed over Krishna to his friend. Okay, to save Krishna from the clutches of Kansa. Then Krishna grew up in Gokul, and he finally killed his uncle King Kansa. The actual celebration of Janmashtami takes place during the midnight, as Shri Krishna is believed to be born on a dark, stormy and windy night to end the rule and violence of his uncle Kans. Kans was he was an extremely evil king, very cruel. Okay, so all over India, this day is celebrated with devotional songs and dances, pujas, aartis, blowing of the conch, and rocking the cradle of baby Krishna. Okay? Conch is Shankh. The Janmashtami celebration of Mathura and Vrindavan, that is the places where Shri Krishna had spent his life, are very special. On this day, temples and homes are wonderfully decorated and illuminated. Night-long prayers are offered and religious mantras are sung in the temple. So this is how Janmashtami is celebrated throughout the country. Some people celebrate it on the first day, on the throughout the day, and in the night Lord Shri Krishna is born. And some people at some places it is celebrated on the next day, that means after Shri Krishna was born. Okay, now Pongal I'll explain after Raksha Bandhan. Next is Raksha Bandhan. Raksha Bandhan is an ancient Indian festival. It celebrates the bond of love and affection between a sister and a brother. The festival is most common among the Hindus. However, it is celebrated by the Sikhs, Jains, and other communities too. It is celebrated in other countries also where Hindus are there, like in Nepal also it is celebrated. The sister ties a thread which is known as Rakhi on the wrist of her brother. The brother promises to always protect his sister. Now for Raksha Bandhan also there are many stories, many mythological stories are related to Raksha Bandhan. One of the main, you can say one of a popular story is that death god, that is Yam, did not visit his sister Yamuna. Death god Yam, जिसको Yamraj कहते हैं, Yam did not visit his sister Yamuna for a period of 12 years, who ultimately became very sad. Since Yam did not visit his sister Yamuna for 12 long years, she was very sad. On the advice of Ganga, Yam went to meet his sister Yamuna, who was very happy and performed hospitality. When Ganga advised Yam to go and meet Yamuna, so when Yam went to meet Yamuna, she was very happy. She welcomed him, and then this made the Yam delighted. And when Yamuna welcomed Yam, he was very happy. He was delighted. He asked Yamuna for a gift. Okay, so Yamuna, she expressed her desire to see her brother again and again. She expressed the desire that she would like to see her brother again and again. Hearing this, Yam made his sister Yamuna immortal so that he could see her again and again. Immortal matlab Amar, who never dies. When Yamuna said that she would like to meet her brother again and again, Yam made his sister Yamuna immortal, मतलब उनको अमर कर दिया जिससे कि वो उसको बार बार मिल सके. So this mythological account forms the basis of festival called Bhai Dooj, which is also based on the brother-sister relationship. Okay, so there are lot of stories associated with all the religious festivals. Now, the festival of Raksha Bandhan is observed as a symbol of duty between brothers and sisters. The occasion is meant to celebrate any type of brother-sister relationship between men and women who may not be biologically related. Now, Raksha Bandhan does not mean that only brother and sister who are biologically related celebrate. Sisters tie Rakhi to their cousins also, sons of their uncles. Okay, and then there are so many people, maybe they don't have brother or sister, they tie Rakhi to them also. So on this day, a sister ties a Rakhi around the wrist of her brother in order to pray for his prosperity, health and well-being. The brother in return offers her gifts. Sisters tie a Rakhi. It can be anything. Rakhi can be a thread also. Okay. Raksha Bandhan. Bandhan is thread, bandhana. And Raksha means safety. Okay. So Raksha Bandhan, it literally means thread of safety. Matlab Raksha karne ka dhaga. So it can be a thread also. So when they tie it, they pray for their brother's well-being, his prosperity, his health, and the brothers in return offers a gift and promises to protect his sister from any harm and under every circumstances. The sisters tie a knot at their brother's wrist, and the brothers promise to protect them, protect their sister from any harm. मतलब कुछ भी हो जाए किसी भी circumstances में, they promise to protect their sister. So the festival is also celebrated between brother and sister belonging to distant family members, relatives or cousins. So like I told you, it is not necessary that brothers and sisters who are biologically related, मतलब जो इसको सगे भाई बहन हम बोलते हैं, only they can tie Rakhi. It is celebrated between distant family members also, like cousins, mama's son and sons and daughters, uncles and aunts, children. Okay, so this is how Raksha Bandhan is celebrated. There are more stories also. So it is not possible to narrate all the stories, but with almost all the festivals, some mythological stories are related. Okay, so these are some of the religious festivals or festivals which are celebrated by people of some particular religious faith and religious belief. Apart from these festivals, there are some harvest festival also. Harvest festivals are the festivals. They are an annual celebration that occur around the time of the main harvest of a given region. Okay, harvest festival is celebrated before the crops are cut. Like when the crops are ready and before they are cut, the harvest festival is celebrated to please the god that they get good harvest. Okay, and however, harvest festivals are not celebrated at the same time. Like Holi, Diwali, Dashera, Eid, Christmas, Guru Parab, Janmashtami, Raksha Bandhan, these festivals are celebrated on the same date throughout the country. National festivals, they have fixed date. The dates do not vary for national festivals. The dates of these festivals, these religious festivals, vary according to the Hindi lunar calendar. Okay, so but they are observed, they are celebrated on the same date throughout the country. But harvest festivals are not celebrated at the same time throughout the country. The dates for harvest festival in different parts of the country vary due to diversity in climate, because different types of crop need, their requirements are different, and different type of crops takes place, crops are grown in different regions, so their harvest time is also different. So the harvest festivals are not celebrated at the same time, their dates vary depending on the climate and diversity in climate. Okay, now there are many harvest festivals in India. Pongal is one of them. Pongal is the biggest harvest festival for the people of Tamil Nadu. Now these harvest festivals are celebrated by people of particular states or particular region. These are not celebrated throughout the country. These are celebrated by people of some particular state or people of some particular religion. Now Pongal is the biggest harvest festival for the people of Tamil Nadu. People belonging to Hindu faith observe this festival to please the sun god who has been so kind to them. They believe that since sun god has been so kind to them, and since as a result they have had a good crop, so they observe this festival to please the sun god. Pongal festival is celebrated around 14 January every year. It is celebrated around 14 January every year, and around 14 January there are some more harvest festivals are celebrated in different regions of the country, like Makar Sankranti. In Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, West Bengal, Makar Sankranti is celebrated almost throughout the country. Maybe it is known by some different name in some other state, but it is celebrated almost in the entire country. It is the oldest and the most colorful harvest festival in India. As per Hindu mythology, this festival marks the end of an unfavorable phase and the beginning of a holy phase. Okay, and the sun god also the sun god changes its place, जिसको कहते हैं कि वो मकर राशि में प्रवेश करते हैं. That is why it is called Makar Sankranti. From 14 December to 14 January or 15 December to 15 January, this 1 month is not considered very auspicious. People, as per Hindu tradition, people normally do not observe, they do not perform any good celebration or any good work during this time. It is not considered very favorable. It is considered an unfavorable phase. And with Makar Sankranti, this phase is over and good time starts. And the beginning, so Makar Sankranti marks the beginning of a holy phase. Now people celebrate the harvest of new crops with bonfire, song, dance, kite flying, etc. Like in UP also kite flying is so famous. Then in Gujarat, okay, in Gujarat it is very popular. Khichdi, it is known as khichdi, and kite flying is very popular. So many competitions also takes place. And on this day, on Makar Sankranti, people take a holy dip in river Ganges. They offer a lot of food items, and then khichdi and other things made of this til are taken. Okay, so Makar Sankranti is the oldest and the most colorful harvest festival. It is celebrated throughout the India, maybe by different names in some other places. Then on one day prior to Makar Sankranti, Lohri is celebrated. Okay, Lohri is very famous in Punjab, Haryana. It is again a harvest festival. People lit a bonfire, and then first they worship it, and then they sing typical songs. They dance around it, and it is Lohri, like they lit bonfire because it is, since it is winter time, so they get warmth. Okay, and then some other harvest festivals are Bihu, which is celebrated in Assam. Bihu means bliss and cheerfulness. Bihu means bliss, matlab Ashirwad and cheerfulness. Then Gudi Parva in Maharashtra. Then Baisakhi in Punjab and Haryana. It is celebrated, Lohri is celebrated in the month of January, and Baisakhi is celebrated in the month of April, 13th April. Okay. And when Jallianwala Bagh massacre had taken place. Then Ugadi is the harvest festival of Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Then Vishu is the harvest festival of Kerala. Then Onam is also there. Onam is the is a very famous festival of Kerala. It is celebrated in Kerala to mark the annual visit of King Mahabali to his people. There is a story that King Mahabali was very kind. He never refused anyone who asked him for something. So once what happened, Lord Vishnu, he wanted to test his kindness. So Lord Vishnu, dressed as a saint, sadhu ban karke, he went to King Mahabali and he said, I want 3 steps of land. King Mahabali agreed. But now that sadhu was Lord Vishnu, so he grew huge in size. In first step, he said, I will take 3 steps. In first step, he took the entire sky. Okay? जिसे कहते हैं कि पहले स्टेप में उन्होंने पूरा आकाश ले लिया. In the next step, he took the entire पाताल, मतलब जो धरती के नीचे, the area below earth. Now he said, I have taken 2 steps. Now there is nothing left, no place left. So where should I take my 3rd step? So King Mahabali bowed in front of him. He said, you can put your feet on my head. So Lord Vishnu, when King Mahabali had understood that he was no normal sage, he was Lord Vishnu himself. So Lord Vishnu was very impressed and he understood that King Mahabali was really very, very kind. So he came back to his normal normal अपने Lord Vishnu के अवतार में आ गए. And then King Mahabali said that I just want to visit my people once a year. So people of Kerala, they celebrate this day, Onam, as they believe that King Mahabali visits them. So on that day they prepare the many dishes famous of Kerala. They prepare their famous dishes to welcome King Mahabali. So children, you can see that there are so many festivals. There are national festivals, there are so many religious festivals, there are harvest festivals. Since India is a land of so many religions, so obviously there are many festivals also belonging to different religions. We have discussed just the few important festivals, and apart from these there are so many other festivals also in Hindu religion, in Muslim, in Christian. There are so many other religion, but in Hindu religion there are a lot of other small festivals also which are celebrated by people of maybe some particular state or people of particular religion. Okay, so in my next class, in my next video, first we will revise the lesson and then we will do the exercises. Thank you, children.